Just be grateful. I know, you guys. It's been so long since I've done a shoot the ish, especially after I posted a video about my YouTube channel update. I know I didn't put it on yet. Sorry. So crazy. I know, especially I what was I saying? I posted a YouTube channel update that I was going to do more shoot the ish lives, and I then backed away for what, like 2 weeks. I am still alive. I am still on my journey. Join me as I eat a quick lunch before I have to go pick up my kids from school, and then there's a parent teacher conference. It is that time. What am I eating? Meatloaf, rice, and green beans, because you know. Okay, guys, wanted to hop on real quick to say hi, to touch base with you guys. How are you doing? We have entered Mercury retrograde, and I have been very emotional. And the topic that I wanted to touch on for this shoot the ish, and obviously if you come on, please chat with me. We can have a little powwow. We can literally shoot the ish. But I am realizing that I have a very, very finicky relationship with rage. Okay. You guys want the tea? I'm going to give you the tea. I have been confronting people in my life whenever I feel that heaviness, right? I guess you could call it resentment, but it's the heaviness of I'm feeling all these feelings. I'm feeling offended. I'm feeling triggered. I have identified the trigger, and it's you, this other person. And I am going to break this pattern of keeping it to myself and being huffy puffy about it. And I am going to confront you head on. Okay. So that's what I've been experimenting with lately. And so I have confronted a few people. Did they go smoothly? No. Like, if anything, I have been learning, and I'm pretty sure this is because of not because of the retrograde, but the retrograde is helping support this purging and revealing of people's repressed emotions. Certainly it is for me. So I've been confronting people. I got into a huge debacle with someone. Like, you want the tea? Like, we're talking screaming match. And I am learning the depths of how much rage I am carrying inside and how much rage I have carried inside for a very long time, and for good reason, right? Like, especially if you're, a child of trauma, of course, like, now that you're an adult and you're looking back, I know the trauma isn't happening now, but for some reason your brain and your body feels like it is. It's all these core beliefs and these patterns that we have learned because of us experiencing these horrendous traumas. So I am, if anything, the past couple of weeks have showed me the gravity of how much rage I have. And then it brings me back to the beginning of my whole mind-body connection journey, right? With Dr. John Sarno. His whole thing was, you have chronic symptoms because it's repressed rage. And then I feel like I spent the last 4 years kind of going around, like doing the whole gambit and going around Dr. Sarno's theory, his concept about all of this being repressed rage. Learning more about the mind-body connection, learning more about, I know I'm talking and eating, I'm sorry. Learning more about the layers of core beliefs, your limiting core beliefs. Allostatic load is full because of all repressed emotions, not just rage. So I was doing the whole gamut, but now I feel like I'm coming full circle. I'm going back to Sarno, where he's like, it's all repressed rage. And I've heard success stories of people that, there's one success story in particular. I think it's on Steve Ozanich's channel, which, if you guys know my story, I had a 4-hour phone call with Steve Ozanich at the very beginning of my TMS mind body recovery journey. Nice man, very nice. That call was very long. And I remember I just had my 3rd child at the time. So I was so sleep deprived. I was doing illness really, really good. And then here I am talking to him, and he's talking for 4 hours. I kind of don't even remember. I kind of do, not really, but that was a long time. That was like 4 years ago, you guys. That's how long this has been. What a void we have been in, right? Especially if you're watching this and we've been in this for years. Like, what a void we have been in. Let's just declare that here. Okay. What was I saying? I was saying back to Sarno, rage. Oh yeah, no, I feel like I'm going full circle and I'm coming back to realizing how much rage I've been carrying and how much I have not accepted that part of me, how much I feared the fact that I had so much potent rage under there. you know, I'm like, man, maybe that's where the fear is. The fear is like how much rage is under there. These are all things I'm grappling with now. So anyway, so the tea is, again, I got into this huge debacle with another person, screaming match. And it felt really good to yell at this person. I'm gonna be honest. It felt so good to have a screaming match. And for no reason, like there were reasons, but I mean, even as I'm in the thick of this argument, I knew that this was old rage. This person just triggered it and really didn't have much to do with this person, but maybe kind of, but I knew all of that, but when S hits the fan and you just get into it, you just get into it, right? So after that, after realizing how much rage, I kind of just sat back and I tried to process the whole thing because, of course, if you fight with someone, right, if you argue with someone, the healthier thing to do is to take a step back and look at your part in it. Obviously, you always look at yourself first. And it was this weird instance where I just was like, oh my God, I accept how angry I am about this situation and about everything I've been through. Like this anger, like let's remove the situation now. Let's remove the conflict with this other person. But then I just sat there and I'm like, I just went into almost like this euphoria. So psychotic. I went into this euphoria of like, oh my God, I am so angry. And I had to just sit with that. And I just had to, and I found myself telling myself, like, Leanne, I accept all this anger that you've been feeling for a really long time. Like, yeah. And this is an instance that has been happening throughout my journey, is just recognizing and learning about these things that come up about yourself and then accepting it and making peace with it, you know? And then I had the most productive day yesterday, like super busy. My brother-in-law dropped off their kids and needed an emergency babysitter. I worked. We have a big project. The deadline's actually today, so that's why this shoot is just going to be short. The deadline's today, so I was working along. I usually, when I work, I'm laying on the couch or laying on the bed and the laptop's on my my torso, and I'm like typing away and writing away. But I actually sat at a desk and I just worked for hours, and it just felt so good to just sit at a proper desk again. Made dinner, fed the kids, fed everybody, did chores. Like it was a really, really productive day. Took my kids to the playground. They were having a blast. And I was like, I feel like I have like my energy just shot through the roof by one, expressing this anger and then accepting it. But then I woke up today and I feel like again. So of course I made amends with this person. And you know, I don't this is my weird relationship with rage as of late. I don't think I've ever had the opportunity to accept it, like accept it fully as it's coming up. And I'm realizing, oh my God, I don't know if there's a bottom to this, to be honest. So I don't feel bad about yelling and angry like in the way that I used to before. I used to judge myself for it and really like beat myself up about it. But now I'm like, I didn't apologize for getting angry to this person. I did apologize for having it come out as an attack for sure, even though that was not my intention to attack this other person. It was really just like expressing this anger and expressing why and all these things in this specific situation. But I didn't feel bad about it, but I did apologize for how the person perceived it to be an attack because I'm taking full responsibility for that. This person felt attacked. Of course, I'm going to take responsibility. Yes, I attacked you, even though that was not my intention. But that's radical responsibility. Is you take responsibility for how the other person feels. Not that whether you agree or not, it doesn't matter. The other person felt attacked and hurt. So even if that was not my intention, that is what I will take responsibility for because I care about this person, and that's what I'm teaching my kids too. I think we might have been taught wrong in that regard because I was taught to always like if I made someone feel bad, even if it wasn't intentional, to like demean myself, you know what I mean? Like to take it upon myself, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm a horrible person. And now I'm learning the healthy way to take radical responsibility is to say, I have a wholeness about me and I have a strong sense of self where I know that what you're feeling, if I've hurt you, whether I agree or not, I am going to take responsibility because I get it. And your truth is your hurt. So I will take responsibility for my part in hurting you. And it has nothing to do, and there's no more self-punishment needed, no more added self-deprecation, no more. It's just like, no, I accept responsibility for my part in this. It's simple. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess if you guys are watching this, clearly I have so much work to do on myself, especially in the area of rage and nonviolent communication, because I recognize why I got angry and what I actually wanted instead, which was pushing away the thing that I wanted by me getting so angry about it. See, all these things that we learn so much about ourselves, but I look at that experience. It just happened a day or so ago. I look at that experience and I see how, in this recovery journey, we go through physical flare ups, but I think we go through clearly emotional flare ups too. Thank you, Mercury retrograde, right? So yeah, this was a total emotional flare up because I needed to learn more about myself. I needed things to purge and I needed more things to be revealed within me so that I can take a look at it and witness it and kind of decide what to do about it. Because I messaged the Mind Change student community and I was like, as I've been on my healing journey, I have become more confrontational. And I notice when I express it, with no guilt and with confidence, when I express my issue to the offender, the person that I have been offended by, I've noticed I feel a shift in my body. Yeah, it's temporary, but I feel such a shift, such a lightness, like, oh, my truth is out. But I don't want to be known and perceived as this person who is confrontational and irrational and angry, you know? So I was asking the student community, like, can you guys give me insight on this? Because I don't know what to do about this. And thank you, Kent McKean, co-creator of the Mind Change Method, and who I had sessions with. He responded and he said something along the lines of, yes, this is normal. Like this is the normal pendulum swing that happens when you are rewiring and things are coming up. And he cited examples of himself as he was going through his own journey. And he had like emotional flare ups like this too. Like he lost it because, especially, he said, I don't know if I should be sharing this. But he had flare ups too, emotional flare ups concerning people who had him pegged in a certain role and he didn't want to be in that role anymore. So all these things were coming up. So he said it's part of the journey. Basically, he was saying it's part of the journey. We have to relearn how to interact with people again when all the filters are coming out, when we're allowing our feelings and our emotions to come to the surface. And now we have to relearn how to re-engage with our emotions, with ourselves, and therefore with other people. And the thing that I love the most that he said was, it can get messy. And my God, yes, it has been very, very, very messy the last few days, few weeks, few years. Right? So, anyway, that's where I'm at, guys. Please leave a comment below. Please leave a comment below. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if anything resonates with this. And you know what? I've also been following Joe Hudson from The Art of Accomplishment. Great stuff. He actually just posted a video. Maybe I'll link it. I'll link it up here. But he posted a video. He's all about like all the coping mechanisms that you have in your life, all the roadblocks, all the problems. He posits that it's usually because you are not willing to feel the emotion that's under there. Like, right? Like I think of an addict. Like my dad's a good example because he was an addict. He was a meth addict and an alcoholic and went to jail. I can tell now with my foresight, and I probably have this too. So I'm probably projecting this is probably about me too. But he probably did all those things because he wasn't willing to feel his rage. He wasn't willing to feel his helplessness. He wasn't willing to feel and his vulnerabilities, his insecurities for whatever reason, right? Like there's always good reason why we do these things that seem so awful, but when you look behind it, there's always a good reason. We do these things, we do everything we can to distract ourselves and to cope with the fact that we don't want to feel this awful, uncomfortable sensation of rage, sadness, grief, helplessness. Mine is helplessness. That's a huge one. Helplessness, like emotional weakness, like, and Joe Hudson's teachings is, I mean, it's very nuanced. Of course, I'm like generalizing it, but he's in a lot of his videos, he's all about like, just feel the emotion. Oh, okay. You're doing all these things, like you're doing all these coping things, and you're justifying and reasoning and rationalizing and catastrophizing because you're trying so hard to avoid feeling shame. Just feel the shame. Just go there. Just feel the shame, and you'll find that once that emotion, that energy is past, it wasn't anything to be afraid of. And you guys know my videos, I'm always talking about how shame isn't even real. Like it's not inherent to feel shame. We learned how to feel shame from other people who feel shame. Like they taught us, they conditioned us to feel shame and to do everything in our power to avoid feeling shame. But it's like, if you actually understand the role of shame and that it's not really real, you learned it from someone else and you can unlearn it, then the way you unlearn it is you feel it, you confront it, and then you find that you survived it. And it didn't mean anything it had nothing to do with your self-worth and your inherent worth. And so I realized that these are easy concepts to talk about, but to put into practice, to feel somatically, to go through the life journey day by day by day, even if you have all this knowledge, it doesn't matter because it still needs to integrate into your body. It still needs to integrate into your nervous system, into your subconscious brain. And the only way to do that is to feel. See how I said that? Because it's hard. It's hard, you guys. I'm working on it. I've been working on it for years. And truthfully, I am. It's one of those days where I'm like, I'm kind of like waving my white flag, because I'm kind of like, okay, I don't know when this is going to end. It is wildly awful to go through, but I got no other options. I have to go through it, or what's the other alternative? Live the rest of my life thinking I'm sick, thinking I'm small and that there's something wrong with me, even though I know there's nothing wrong with me, but my body doesn't know it yet. My brain doesn't know it yet. So we have to stay on this journey, right? We can do it, you guys. We can do it. All right. Thanks for touching base. Leave me a comment, you guys. Yeah, especially on this video because it's been a while. I'm gonna touch base with you guys more. Okay. Okay, love you guys. Take care.